God, it's this one.
Well, hello there. This is me again. I'm back. Yes, I'm back. Tell a friend, I'm back and I'm better than ever. Eric Bishop, if you know the reference. But anyway, we are here to discuss another movie review. I am, forgot what my name is last time, but you can just call me, it's an even name, Lars. Lars is an even name. You can call me Lars the cat. And I'm here with...
Larfleeze kitty. It's me, Jherick Jackass, and we're gonna have so many fun today. We have such wondrous things to show you.
And what are we doing? And I already told you about the penny before. Stop that.
Oh, the horror people.
You know how do I get my foot the other way?
Demons, holy war, generations of legends, and possibly furries. Well, not the usual kind.
Yeah, a little bit. I'd say more of the incestual Japanese kind with tentacle rape and things involved. But other than that, yes.
Yeah, I don't know what the technical term for the snakekin are, so we're just gonna say demon furries.
Whoopsie! And I also forgot one thing. 1 second here, folks. This shouldn't interrupt anything. No technical difficulties.
Nothing to see here, children.
Should be yeah, that. I wasn't already. Whoa! Holy crap!
Wow.
That critics rating is rather.
I don't know who I'm more disappointed in this time, Rotten Tomatoes or the fans.
All right. Well, why would you be disappointed with Rotten Tomatoes? Well, all right. We'll give you it now, folks, because I forgot to have everything in place for the review, so I didn't have my references ready, but apparently we went to RottenTomatoes.com, trademark, and apparently Lair of the White Worm is 68% credits and only 47% audience. Ah!
Am I allowed to blame Hugh Grant on this? Because there's no way I'm blaming Peter Capaldi on this. Because yes, the horror begins and ends with Time Lords.
Why would you want to blame Hugh Grant? The critics gave it a good rating. You can't blame Hugh Grant for the fans.
Simple. Rom-coms. The horror of rom-coms.
I don't get it.
Romantic comedies?
Oh. Well, it was 1983. It wasn't in those yet.
But he would be. And those wonderful little rom-coms filling your girlfriend with all those unrealistic expectations, Why can't you be more like Hugh Grant? Because he's rich, he's famous, he gets to travel around the world, he gets to cheat on his wife and suffer damn near no consequences for it, but, enough about Divine Brown.
Alright.
We don't talk about her no more.
Well, alright, well, whatever. That is fun. Guess I didn't know that, but oh well.
Yeah, you remember he was with that lady of ill repute in that car in Los Angeles back in the 90s when he was still married.
Oh, yes, that. Alright, yes, we all remember that, but I'm not going to dredge in that. Anyway, I think it's just because, the movie's a bit cheesy and a little off-kilter, but hey, not everybody likes it. Not even Bram Stoker's Dracula, although he was given a lot of things, and that's the funny thing. Lair of the White Worm is based off of Bram Stoker's Dracula's book, if I can say his name right.
And it's also kind of based on the legend of, was it St. George the Dragon Killer?
Yeah, St. George the Dragon Killer and the Worm. There's actually a part where they're singing about it in the movie. Which to that place, you learn about how there's 2 excavation diggers. One named, I think, was, wrong thing now. Let's see. Oh, yes. Angus Flint and his girlfriend, Mary Trent, are digging behind the house to where they're finding very enriched artifacts. And these artifacts are Roman in nature and of within their village during the time. I forget the years. Do you remember that year, Jherick, being that this is your movie? What time? The 80 BC?
I believe it was post-Roman Empire, but possibly just before the establishment of a unified Britain, if anybody remembers that time period. But yeah, they basically dig up these artifacts as they realize this is probably part of some demonic, esoteric cult with ties to the old Roman Empire, and then they remember, wait a minute, wasn't there an old legend like one of your ancestors was part of a coven part of a coven of nuns that got slaughtered on this site by a pack of Roman soldiers under the banner, so to speak, and yeah, you actually kind of see a flashback to that. You know, the Romans doing Roman things to the Catholic nuns, while a demonic giant white worm, hint, 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 is a subtle reference, watches in glee. And, yeah, one of the girls, I believe the girlfriend of Angus Flint, a.k.a. the 12th Doctor, Peter Capaldi, just happens to be the descendant of one of the survivors. The only survivor, and yes, this worm is obsessed with killing... Wait a minute. A giant demonic dragon serpent trying to kill the last survivor of a holy order of female nuns that it tried to slaughter but missed one, comes back centuries later to finish the job, and a team of heroes descended from the exact same legend have to team up with her in order to take it down. This is King of Fighters 94, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you know more about that than I do. I never played King of Fighters 94. Wasn't evil enough.
You poor, poor child.
Stop touching me!
But I mean, seriously, think about it. This basically makes Peter Capaldi, Kyo Kusanagi, his girlfriend, Yuki Kushinada, and, you know, I've probably just lost all of you right now, haven't I?
I was about to say, yes, if anyone gets our reference, because you sure as hell lost me.
But yeah, basically, yeah, they sing the folklore song of St. George killing the dragon, which, you know, just happens to still be alive. It's kind of funny, too, because Peter Capaldi, again, plays a bit of an intelligent, nerdy guy who's just into really weird stuff, and lo and behold, he was right. Why, look at that. It's almost as if they didn't get the important part of the snake and it could regenerate and just hide out and kill people at random at night in order to gain its strength back and try again.
Well, yes, and essentially, Jherick basically... You didn't really need me for this review, folks, because Jherick basically gave you the plot in one big go there, which is rather nice, but yes. Basically, let's see. Lord James Dumpton, Angus Flint team up to take on this, wonderful, she is rather hot, but, Lady Sylvia Marsh, who is actually the descendant and the last living, vampiric creature, if you will, because sometimes in law vampires are snakes, and this vampiric creature, to take her down, is she wants to sacrifice the Trent girls in order to regain her strength and rule over Dominion and disprove Christ, destroy Christ, and all that lovely stuff with, of course, probably should mention, Eva Trent is the one who gets all the images, and, yeah, that's rather,
yeah, you know.
They're cheesy, but it's filled with a lot of sexual references, and, yeah, weird stuff, so a little uncomfortable, but rather laughable, too, because it's almost like you're watching a bad MTV video, so...
Let's just say her dildo is much, much bigger than yours.
Well, yes, but I must say, Amanda Donahue, who plays her, yes, quite hot indeed, quite hot indeed. Pretty good casting, too, for that role, given that, what year was this again, 83, 85?
88.
Oh, I'm so wrong. I said 83, 88, so 1988. Holy crap.
And let's just say 12th Doctor was looking pretty young back then, you know what I'm saying?
Well, obviously, probably had to be one of his, first films and whatnot, because he didn't have any of his, gray hair, which he gets early on in his career.
And also, Miss Donahue, as the possessed snake woman, she gets to kill a Boy Scout. Gotta say, it was actually pretty odd, you know, being a former Boy Scout myself. Hey, anybody from Troop 392 out there? Hello?
Yes.
But yeah, she finds a Boy Scout out in the rain, separated from his troop. But hey, at least he wasn't violated by the Scoutmaster, am I right?
Oh dear, you had to take it there, didn't you?
Yeah, you know, old Boy Scout humor.
Well, of course, if you like that sort of thing, by all means, but you had to take it there.
But there's actually some really entertaining battles of wits and whatnot between her and the heroes. I mean, like Lord Donahue basically getting his butler to set up a massive sound system to blare snake charming music because it'll keep her distracted. And of course, she knew he was going to try something like that, so she uses one of her minions to basically corrupt the guy so she can get in, disable the sound system, try to get to Lord Donahue, and I mean, not Donahue, Lord Dampton, and let's just say it's a great little battle with everybody trying to outthink and outpace each other. And of course, since he's descended from the knight who took down the serpent in the first place, he realizes, we've been having trouble with this excavation on the site where this battle was rumored to take place. I'm going to have a bunch of boys get some mining equipment, drill down far enough, we're going to smoke the beast out, and they pull off the most badass kill on this thing. I'm not even joking. Like, they have the girl dangling from a rope, like traditional villain style. The serpent's coming up. He gets his boys to smoke out the other end. It's coming up, and I'm not going to ruin it, but ladies and gents, if you can find this shit, get it, watch it. Just make sure the kids aren't home when you do so.
Well then, if Jherick doesn't want to ruin it for you, then I shan't say much more on the ending, because if he wants to have it kept a surprise, I shall respect the wishes. But let's just say there's a twist here at the end, because even though the movie is cheesy at times and weird, and I'll admit, while you discussed what Lord Dampton was doing, Angus Flint actually gets all the lore together and weaknesses, and, well, is his scientific know-how with cures and whatnot, to go save the girls in actually a pretty cool and albeit cheesy rescue mission again, but it was really cool seeing how Angus Flint took charge to save not only Dampton's girlfriend, who was Eva Trent, but his own girlfriend, who was Barry Trent.
And let's just say Angus pulled a nice little doctor, but there's only one problem, Mr. Doctor. You didn't account for human error, which kind of also happens in Doctor Who,
Oh yes, and that is where I was going to get at, yes, because the ending is, let's just say it doesn't have all the happiest bit of twists, but it was very, very clever about how they did it, but yeah, not the happiest ending, and I'll leave it there.
I gotta say, this show, to its credit, kind of gave me certain like memories of like Ishizuku reviewers, where it's basically a hentai, but it's a very well thought out one. They actually bring up like a lot of the things you would have to take into account. Like, for instance, let's say you find a nice Salamando girl. How the heck are you gonna get your giggity goo on when you might get burned alive just trying to get near her? Well, don't worry, that's what potions of flame resistance are for. You got a pack of horny succubi? I hope you brought enough stamina potions. This show kind of does the same thing. It takes into account all the various aspects of how you would have to fight a demonic entity like this.
Well, again, I'm betting
the hypnotism, the poison blood, the ability to corrupt and enslave other people. It's actually well thought out for a cheesy movie.
Well, again, I'm going to say, because since it's loosely based on a Bram Stoker work, I'm going to say that's why. Because Bram Stoker was a genius with these stories, and no wonder people put him at the top of horror for the start of the, for the end of the 19th century, start of the 20th century, because that's where a lot of these horror writers were writing the things. End of the 19th, start of the 20th, so there you go.
And in a funny way, this movie kind of brings the whole Bram Stoker analogy kind of full circle, because people forget this, but Bram Stoker's Dracula novel was also kind of a loose base adaptation of Carmilla, the Queen of the Vampires, which herself was inspired by Elizabeth Bathory. And Elizabeth Bathory, if you happen to know, really loved killing bitches in order to try to bathe in their blood to stay young. I suppose you could say, with the idea of the main antagonist being a sexy woman who kills people to sustain herself and her dark demon serpent god, kind of brings the whole thing full circle.
I would say so, definitely. Because a lot of good references there. And, well, let's see, that's pretty much the review, as Jherick went over and I went over a little bit. And, to that point, characters, for me, bit of a hands down, because cheesy acting from most people, and, somewhat believability, but I have to say, I give that honor to two people, and one is not because I'm a Doctor Who fan, but I have to say the actors that were the MVPs were Amanda Donahue, Lady Sylvia Marsh, and of course, Peter Capaldi, who played Angus Flint. Because, to me, you know, Amanda Donahue seemed to be very into the villain. She was very seductive, very hot, very, weird when she needed to be. When she was also in the, snake makeup. Not the greatest makeup work, but, you know, she made it work for what it was, and, you know, it works out really well. She plays a very good villain seductress. And Peter Capaldi, you know, what is there to say? Very, very young actor, starting out at this time, but he went with the role, made everything believable, and you believed him trying to save the day, minus, though, trying to distract a vampire while running around playing bagpipes was rather hilarious. But other than that, he came off as a pretty good, legit hero. And I believed it all the way through to the end of the movie, so well done, Peter Capaldi, showing us your early greatness right there.
Well, I know this is going to go over most people's heads, but hey, how do you think St. Patrick got all those snakes off of Ireland in the first place, right? I mean, you want to get snake bitches to run, get you some bagpipes. That's all I'm saying. But I have to agree with Larfleezy here, because yes, Peter Capaldi did indeed steal the show. What do you expect? He's the fucking Time Lord. And Miss Donahue, oh my God, man! You want to see Lady Dimitrescu before Resident Evil Village? Watch this movie, because honestly, she did it better.
You know, that's actually a good reference point to make. So well done, Jherick. That's actually good. Better Lady Dimitrescu. There's a lot of references to that. So
let's just say this movie may have been responsible for more than a few of your current fetishes.
Yes, that is believable.
Dummy mommy, snake women, you know. I'm not going to say this movie may have had a hand in King of Fighters, but I'm just starting to notice some patterns.
Again, you know more about that than I, so well, in final thoughts, I could basically say cheesy movie, but a fun one, and quite steeped in the lore for a cheesy 80s horror movie, because sometimes they don't even give you that much lore. Some do, some don't. This is one that did, and so very fun, somewhat interesting characters, quite a pretty good villain, and you know, can't go wrong with it.
And you know, Hugh Grant doing Hugh Grant things. I mean, come on.
Yes, he was good as James Danton. If there was a third character I would give a nod to, it'd be him. And you know, he's very young too, given that this is 88, and, you know, still as dashing as ever for the most part. And, you know, just very good, very fun and good movie overall.
And, you know, if you're curious, I got my copy off of Amazon, so, do the good Lord's work and fight the white serpent.
Oh yes, a very white serpent indeed, a very white animatronic office serpent.
Yeah, but, you know, at least they Fallout 3'd that son of a bitch back to hell, so, good on you, Mr. Grant.
Oh, yes. So, anyway, that is the end of our review. Have you ever seen, this wonderfully good, cheesy, bitter piece of atrocity, or have you ever not seen it? Would you like to? Do you even know of Bram Stoker's work or anything like that in general? Leave me a comment down below.
And remember, no children allowed. This is daddy time.
I would definitely say so. As cheesy as it is rather adultish. Definitely adultish.
Yeah.
If you want your children to see it, do it, because it'd be delightfully evil.
And hey, fun fact, I actually got to see this when I was 7 years old.
Oh dear, you wonderful, no wonder you walked, you little dingus.
Hey man, I got to see Children of the Corn when I was 6.
Alright, well, no argument there. But anyway, leave a comment down below and we will speak to you again another time. But until then, folks, deuces!
Do-do-do, do-do-do.
And it really go with the cheesy theme there at the end?